To discuss Women's Day and gender equality in China, Ying Lu joins us live from New York. She's an associate professor at New York University's Steinhardt School of Culture, Education and Human Development. Welcome to the program. Thank you for joining us. I gather you grew up in China at a time when International Women's Day was really quite a big event. Is that true?
Oh, yes. So when I left China, it was about 20 years ago, and it used to be the Women's Day used to bear a lot more political importance. And I remember on March 8th, the China Women's Federation would issue March 8th medals to celebrate women's contribution, female leaders in science, public service, and healthcare, education, and etc.
And how does that compare to today, from what you know that happens in China?
Well, nowadays, to the best of my knowledge, I think this holiday has evolved to become a way for female workers or for women to celebrate their womanhood. So the state employees would get half day off on March 8th, and many private companies also honor this tradition to give their female employees half day off. And also you see events organized at workplace to talk about how to better balance work and life, and even including sharing beauty tips at workplace. And a lot of employers also would give their female employees show a token of appreciation, such as gift cards and flowers. So altogether, I think this holiday has evolved to more of a celebrating womanhood.
Of course, there are many more holidays in China now than there used to be, but I gather it rather depends on whether you work for a private company or a government company. Is that correct?
I think if you work for the government, if you work for the government, there's more of a formal recognition, and it depends for the private companies. Yeah. But for general audience, I think it's also becomes more of a way of it's just to show the appreciation to women, and you see a big major internet companies would have that become their biggest sales event.
Right, this is Alibaba. This is Alibaba, right? Who call the day Goddess. Why do they call it Goddess Day?
Well, because they think this is the day where they can make big sales to encourage husbands or boyfriends to buy presents to their, wives and girlfriends.
Well, now listen, finally and fairly briefly, if you kindly would do, there was a big sort of event at the United Nations today featuring the Secretary General, but you now live in the United States. Are you surprised that nothing really happens here to mark this day? Because it doesn't really, does it?
Yeah, that's one thing I've been thinking about, because in the U.S. we've been talking about gender equality a lot, but yeah, it doesn't seem like Women's Day had made much of a splash here.
I wonder if that will change. Do you think it might?
Well, I certainly hope so.
Ying Lu, thank you very much for joining us live from New York on this Friday night. We appreciate it. Thank you.